Well, hello. Good to see you again. This week I want to leave you with a very simple idea that relates to strategic planning that very often people miss out on. And it's a lesson for military history, specifically World War II history relating to the German military. And obviously they lost the war. But the bottom line is there's a lesson that we can glean from that is very important to our strategic planning for our organization today. It's simply this, that when the German High Command planned their military strategies and how the manufacturing was going to result and all that, there was a simple aspect of it that came across from the High Command, and that was the entire focus was on the strength and the power of the German army, the soldiers. And how that related to other groups was in the aviation and in the German Air Force. The whole idea of the German Air Force was to support the Army, to go in every now and then and just remove those couple of obstacles that was keeping the Army from going where it needed to go. Consequently, they really never put a lot of emphasis in a strategic bomber capability. And also, as a result of that, when they came up with their fighters, for instance, the Me-109 and the Focke-Wulf 190, they didn't see a need for them to have to be on station for a long period of time, so they were always short on gas, and this played out against them throughout the war. They also were so confident in the power of their military and in the power of their industrial might that that's where their focus was, and they didn't spend a lot of time looking at the logistics side of things in terms of POL, or petroleum and oil and lubricants capability and the ability to do that. And this hurt them in the long run. What they found was that the fighters could not stay on, and particularly when the war turned and the Allies started to attack Germany proper, the fighters could not really stay on station long enough to make the difference necessary. And Germany lost the war also when the Allies began to attack the oil refineries and the oil logistics, where they could manufacture all the weapons that they needed, but they couldn't put gas into them to get them where they needed to go. It's a key lesson that we need to think about, because here's what I want to challenge you with. As you think about your strategic plan right now, what assumptions are you making? Are those assumptions right? When you think about your strategic plan, look into it. Does it really take into account what's going to be there a week from now, or a month from now, or a couple of years from now? What things did you not plan on? What things did you make assumptions on? What things did you not envision? What threats are out there that you don't even know about right now when you're talking about a changing environment and what you have to do to plan for that? So it's a key aspect when you talk about strategic planning. On what basis are you making your assumptions? On what basis are you making your statements? On what basis are you building that plan? And of those, which of those assumptions may not be true 2 years from now? And are you ready for that? Have you built into your plan the adaptiveness needed to make the difference when those come onto the surface? So I leave that with you this week. When you think about strategic planning in your organization, what are you missing? What assumptions are you making? What is it within you that's thinking, okay, we can just drive this through? Well, if nothing else changes. But in a changing environment, we all know Murphy's Law. And if Murphy's waiting in the wings and comes on stage today, are we ready for that? So take a look within your organization this week. Take a look at your strategic plan. Take a look at the plans that you have for where you're going over the next 6 months to a year to 3 years. And what has that accounted for? What has it not accounted for? And are you ready for that? So I'll leave that with you for this week.
Again.